Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being with us on our Moore and Company Facebook Live. Of course, I'm Caleb Moore, and then I have my beautiful wife, Jodi, here this morning. And then we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Tony Moore with us here. And as you probably have seen, that we're going to be talking to Commissioner Moore and talking about all the things that he does in his role as commissioner. Now, Dad, you wear many different hats, and you have throughout the years. You've been principal broker, and you still are. You've been trainer. You are now commissioner. You've been dad. You still are dad, and grandpa. And so, but I want to talk about Commissioner Moore today. And a lot of people don't understand what the Arkansas Real Estate Commission is, how you get appointed to that seat, how many of them are there. So I'm just going to kind of let you have the floor and just tell everybody how all that stuff works, and then we'll kind of go into the next step there.
Okay. So thank you, son. That introduction is very flattering, and it's always a privilege to serve the people. I think out of all that Caleb said there, the most important title is Daddy and Grandpa. And so it's a privilege to have the joy of working with my two sons, Caleb and little Jacob, and then my sweet daughter-in-law, Jodi. Becky, she's here this morning also with us, and she's the comptroller. And so what a privilege it is to just be able to work every day with family. So I just want to say that's my favorite title. The title that the governor allows me to carry, it's the Real Estate Commission is appointed by the governor, and I was privileged to be appointed 2 times by Governor Hutchinson, and I appreciate that opportunity, of course, to try to help serve the community and try to help make the industry better than I found it when I came in almost 40 years ago. So that's my focus. The commission is there to try to help protect the public, and that is its number one and most important thing that it does is safeguarding for the consumer. And I'll be glad to go in as much detail as.
So how many years have you been a commissioner now?
This is finishing up my 6th year. I'm the chairman this year, so this is my 2nd time to be the chair, and this will be my final term of 3 years. So I'm on this is my 6th year.
And how many chairmen are there, chair ladies are there?
Well, there's only 5 commissioners. The commission's been around over 75 years. Designed really, again, you have to think about the importance that the real estate industry shared in the beginning of the state of Arkansas. There's nothing more important to the Arkansans than the value of their real property. And so some of the oldest laws and some of the oldest rules that we have on our books are real property law. And so the commission was formed way long ago to help try to bring integrity and honesty to the consumer and protect that sacred investment, which was real property. And all of our rules have emerged through that venue of trying to make sure the consumer was taken care of. There's 5 commissioners, 3 appointed by the governor from the industry, and that's I've been from inside the industry, and 2 outside the industry, 1 representative of the business community at large, another from the elderly representative. So those are where they come from, and they're 3-year appointments.
3-year appointments. Okay. And you're on your second, the end of your 2nd term right now.
Yes, the governor allowed me to serve for the 2nd term and reappointed me, and so I came back again and about to finish up, and I'm chairman for this my last year.
Okay. So there are things that come to the forefront of the commissioners. A complaint is filed, and then not all the times will it end up in front of you to adjudicate and make sure that there's something there that needs to be corrected. But what are some of the things that you see that come your direction that maybe we could tell the consumer, hey, when you go through the process of this, you might be able to be looking out for some of the things that you're seeing a lot of complaints on?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and so let me see if I get it right. If I don't, you just ask some more and I'll follow up with that. But I think one of the multiple offer circumstances that's happening so prevalent in Arkansas and around the nation today is very problematic in the fact that I'm afraid that people are making ill-advised decisions, maybe being pushed a little quickly into making a very important decision. I think if you don't want to be competitive in a bidding type situation, folks, the best thing to do is don't buy it. We make our living selling property, and we certainly want you to be a homeowner, but we are not in the process of trying to force you. The market's forcing, and that's not for everybody. So number two would be, don't throw caution to the wind. You should have a home inspection. You should have a survey. You should have things that are involved to help protect you. And that's just good business no matter what the market is. Don't throw those haphazardly to the side and then feel regret when you make a decision and then it's not what you wanted later on. That is a horrible mistake that we would rather you not buy than put yourself in that circumstance.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. When we've advised people of that ourselves is, hey, if you don't want to be, the market is forcing you. I think that's a good way to put it. We don't want to force you to do this, and sometimes we just advise them, it's best just to walk away. Let's just wait.
We'll go
if
find
you can
another
wait,
house.
and let's just wait. And I know that's hard for people to do because they want a house so bad, but sometimes that's the best financial decision.
I'm not a fan of sight unseen purchases, and I just want to make sure people know that it's very dangerous, and you should not do that unless there's just no way that you can prevent it. And then you should do it with understanding you are taking a certain amount of risk on yourself. The commission, as Caleb had asked about the process, there's a website there for you can get on the Arkansas Real Estate Commission and see how to file a complaint if someone has not represented something correctly. It's not, frankly, so unsurprising to me that we have complaints. It's actually we have fewer complaints than I actually thought we would have. And I think that's attributed to the fact that the Arkansas Real Estate Commission, although we have about 14,000 licensees now in the state of Arkansas.
Wow.
That's great.
It's been growing at a tune of about between 300 and 500 per month for entering the business.
My goodness.
In the past, just this year, that's about an average. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Tell us what you do with those licensees. Part of consumer protection is to ensure what about the licensees?
Yeah, thank you, Jodi. I think that's a great idea. So, folks, I don't know if you are aware, but there's an extensive amount of background checks that do go into granting a license. There's a 60-hour course. There's a very in-depth testing with 2 different modules. All of that is approved by the commission that people have to pass. It's a pass rate in Arkansas is below 50%. That's how hard it is. It's a very tough exam. And then there's a FBI background check with fingerprints. And if there's any hits on those, we have the staff that check all of that in our offices in Little Rock. And there's many people that are not able to get a license because there is a hit on their background check.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a wonderful protection for the consumer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so that's very important. People don't know about that, again, unless we have moments like this where we're
Right.
actually telling them what's going on. There's an appeal process that people, so that we're trying to be totally equitable on those. And we have applicant appeal hearings almost on a monthly basis where people are asking us to grant them a waiver. And frankly, sometimes we do and sometimes we don't.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Each is on its own merit.
Now, there was speaking of consumer protection, there was one bill that was passed this last session that I thought was excellent about the timeshares. Can you elaborate a little bit on that timeshares? Because I think that's a lot of people don't understand that, and they're taking advantage of buy timeshares, which we're hearing on the radio all the time.
Yeah, so of course Caleb won't say this probably this morning, but he also has been involved in a lot of legislative. He's on the legislative committee for the Arkansas Realtor Association, and he watches a lot of these bills. And so he's done a great job at helping make sure good bills that were consumer friendly help pass through this last session. This particular bill, Mr. Gary Isom, former director of the Arkansas Real Estate Commission, a great guy. We have had several complaints over the years developing from timeshare resellers. Now, these are not sellers of timeshares, although we see some of those. This is the resale group. And they would come into Arkansas from all over the United States, take people's money, and we dealt with several scams of people losing thousands and thousands of dollars. Mm. And sadly, it was often elderly that were being preyed upon, and they were all empty promises. I'll get you out of your timeshare, and it was from $5,000 to $10,000 in cases, and it was just such an egregious. This bill, spearheaded by Mr. Isom, passed the legislature with flying colors. They did a great job on the Hill. Senate passed it also, and protecting against scammers coming into the state of Arkansas. You can still have timeshare resellers, but they have to go through a vetting process and make sure it's all legitimate, and it's 100% vetted by the commission at this point, trying to protect consumers. That's a great bill.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I just,
great bill.
it's hard for me, and Jodi and I have talked about this, that to think about taking advantage of the elderly, preying on the elderly like that, and then just running. I mean, that's, y'all are trying to protect them, but they were in other states by that time. The scammers were sometimes.
Yeah. I think God will get them. That's the most important part, is He'll get them.
Yeah, that's true.
And if we get a chance, we're going to get them as much as we can.
Absolutely.
Those are the things that the Arkansas Real Estate Commission was designed to try to help to the best of its ability. If somebody out there is watching this today or later on, and they know of something that has occurred that is a fraudulent event like that, the Arkansas Real Estate Commission is there to see those complaints. They have a very stringent vetting process with investigators and other things. It's designed to help protect the consumer.
Right.
Love that. So, final question. I just kind of want to get your opinion here. So Tony's owned Moore and Company Realtors for over 25 years now, or maybe about 25 years, and been in the business much longer than that. And he has seen multiple different situations and markets, and where you've probably heard the term sellers markets and buyers markets and what all that means. And what I'd really like to do is get his opinion as a broker owner of what he thinks about our current market right now, with low inventory being a real issue.
Yeah, and you can even, when you started the business, well, when did you get your license?
Oh, so I was licensed in the early '80s, and the interest rate was 16%,
Yeah.
and I was too dumb to know everybody's getting out of the business when I got into it, and so those saying this is the best of times, this is the worst of times. I think the disruption of the pandemic created some unusual paradigms that I don't care how much experience you have. People who tell you they know what's coming around the curve, I think that road is so short right now. And so I think that
it's hard to predict.
Yeah, well, the disruption's just not over with. What is normal? Mm-hmm. Okay, so is there a new normal? Certainly there's a new normal. What does it look like? I don't know. I think we're going to see. I'm very concerned about some of the junctures that, like, for example, for first-time home buyers and for renters, and that we're creating a renter society where that we're finding the entrance into home ownership so hard and so expensive. And I see these prices, and I think we're seeing our what's called affordability index at an all-time low. You're going to see home ownership drop in your generation and that because they can't get in. Mm-hmm. We're not seeing new construction in affordable places because it's municipalities have passed too many regulations that's created too much requirement for wide streets and wide curb and gutters and everything, and it's driven the prices out of reach for so many entry-level folks, and it breaks my heart, frankly.
Yeah,
I understand.
So I think we're going to see an epidemic, an absolute cliff edge in homelessness, and in affordability, and in people being able to buy a home, their first home, and it frankly just breaks my heart.
It's and just to go off of what you were saying, it's incredible that I read an article by Inman this week that said that the shortage of nationwide, the shortage of new construction houses, we're 5.5 million homes short. and that we won't come, by the way that we're projecting, that's another 5 years before we ever, if we built X
Gotcha.
amount of houses per year, like 1.5 million per year.
So let me give an advantage to that real quick, and I know we're probably out of time, but if you think of the affordability index is bad and out of balance in Arkansas, look how it is in California, look how it is in Seattle, Washington, look how it is in large market Dallas, Texas.
Right.
It is so much worse there. If there's an advantage to Ozark, Clarksville, Russellville, Morrilton, even Conway, it's still so much more affordable in Arkansas than it is almost anywhere else.
Absolutely.
Nationwide,
So we have we have hope for our people that is not exactly going to be, there's going to be people that are just simply totally priced out in Florida, priced out in New York. They're just priced out.
Right.
And they're going to be a renter for their entire life. They'll never know what it is to be a homeowner. So we still have that hope in our smaller markets, and I just pray that people will see that, hey, it's worth the advantage to jump in, because I think inflation's coming back, and I think you're going to see some price resetting. I think the tide will go out on this exact market, but you're still going to see inflationary factors driving up price house. And that just means your dollar's going to buy you less, and it's going to still cost you more.
Right.
So best get in as getting in as you can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, Dad, anything else that you want to add that we're leaving out?
This is the most wonderful young lady in the world right here.
We had
I
a
just
good
want to make
time.
sure I just say that in front of everybody. And Caleb ain't bad either.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I get that. That's okay. I'm either Tony's son or Jody's husband most of the time. That's usually how that my titles work. But no, Dad, thanks for being here this morning.
Oh, enjoyed it.
Very much.
We appreciate what you do on the commission, and we appreciate that here at our office, all our offices, we get to learn so much from what your experience is on the commission.
Well, we just hope to help our folks, specifically, son, just to bring it back here, is we try to take and learn from every circumstance that we can to be better for the
Absolutely.
public, and just take good care of them. Like, I think that's what the good Lord would have us do: take care of the public, and good Lord take care of us.
That's right.
Amen.
That's
Right.
right.
Golden
Yeah.
rule.
Well, Dad, thanks for being
All
here
right.
this morning. Guys, you can, obviously, we would love for you to follow us on Facebook if you're not already doing that. Like us, comment on us, tell us anything that you would like to talk about, maybe in the future, something real estate related. We'd love to do that. So anyways, thanks for being here this morning, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.